Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm a monk, and today we are in Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlords. Within this video, we're going to be talking about kingdom management, about having a successful kingdom, and what you need to do in order to make your kingdom thrive. And if that's the kind of video that you want to see, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, this is a little bit of a unplanned video. It's not going to be a scripted video. So we're going to see how and where this goes. However, I have had recently a few comments and a few discussions within the Discord about kingdoms and about how having your own kingdom is rather difficult. Growing your kingdom is rather difficult. Holding on to your kingdom can be extremely difficult. Now, for anyone that's been following my playthrough, they'll be very familiar with where I am right now. Here I am a vassal, and I have actually got my own town as well. Right here, it was awarded to me a couple of episodes back now. I've managed to keep hold of it thus far. I've been working on loyalty within my town to make sure that it doesn't revolt. And I'm quite happy with the way this playthrough is going. Now, we're only like a couple of 100 days into this playthrough so far, but I am part of a kingdom, and being part of a kingdom, even as a vassal, is a kingdom that you're going to have to manage. Now, what I would recommend is not becoming the White Knight. Don't become the White Knight of a vassalized kingdom, because you're going to be putting yourself in harm's way. You're going to be expelling all your resources in making sure this kingdom thrives. Now, I get it. You're part of this kingdom. You feel like it is your kingdom. And in fact, you can actually be voted the king of a kingdom that you are a vassal of. Giving enough time, giving a few things a lie, and giving you a little bit patient. However, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the kingdom for life for you, and I'll show you an example of that a little bit later. Now, like I said, I'm a vassal of this kingdom, and even though I'm a vassal, if you've been following the playthrough, I've only been following my own interests. So if there's a war that's been going on, and if there's an army that's around, I haven't been joining that army. And I haven't necessarily been going all out in those wars. I've been doing my best interest. So right now, my best interest is stocking up my town with a decent amount of troops and defenders and ensuring that it doesn't get taken over. So that's my main focus right now. Now, there are some positives with becoming a vassal. I really like the idea of becoming a vassal, especially early game. You get some decent troops, you get a little bit of protection, and you get a little bit more leeway as to what you want to do. There are downfalls as well. Obviously, you're going to be going to war, and going to war quite a lot sometimes. The other downfall is that we have tributes to pay. If we have a lurk, we are paying 660 dinars to the Northern Empire. Now, that actually comes out of my money as well. Even though I'm not the king, the tributes that are being paid are split between every vassal in the kingdom. That's the same with money that you receive as well. Another thing you're going to see within this bank balance sometimes is that you are paying mercenaries. Now, you may be thinking, hold on a minute, I haven't hired any mercenaries. I have no mercenary troops. Why am I paying for these mercenaries? These mercenaries are going to be mercenary clans that the king of that kingdom has hired. Now, again, those wages, that money that's being paid out is split between every clan within the kingdom. So that's something you may see, and that's something to keep an eye out for. So yeah. Now, that is a vassalized kingdom. Like I said, I would look into your own interest. Now, obviously, you can become your own kingdom from this. For instance, I could declare myself my own kingdom right now. I could leave this kingdom leave kingdom, bush, and if I think we're at war right now, it will tell me why I can't right now. But if I was to leave the kingdom, it would tell me, do I want to leave with the land or without the land? And if I leave with the land and then declare myself my own kingdom, all of a sudden I am an upstart kingdom. And an upstart kingdom is something that I wanted to talk about and show you next. Now, this is my upstart kingdom. This is a kingdom that I created. I actually wasn't even a vassal within this playthrough. We're about 700 days in, and I'm the proud owner of not one, but two castles, which I personally think was pretty cool at the time. Now, like I said, we're 700 days in, and if we zoom out, as you can see, I don't even register on the map because, of course, I only have castles. This was my first attempt at my own kingdom. I didn't take a revolted town. I literally found a castle that wasn't being defended very well. I thought I could take it. I did take it. I declared war. I declared myself my own kingdom immediately, because I am the smallest kingdom in the land. Everyone and his mother wanted to go to war with me. Now, I was prepared for this. Now, one thing I would say is money is extremely important, guys. You need a lot of money when it comes to having your own kingdom, and I think that can be true for, both in real life and in any game. That was a sentence actually written by someone within my own Discord, and it really does home truth. Having a decent amount of money, I would say starting a kingdom with 10 million is probably the ideal route. Especially do not start a kingdom if you have under a million. Like I said, when I started a kingdom, I was the smallest kingdom in the game. Everyone wanted to start wars with me. Because of this, I've had to pay out a lot of tribute. Now, if we go over to diplomacy, we can see we're currently at peace, which is fabulous. We're at peace with all 8 nations, but I am paying the Northern Empire 2,280 dinars. I am paying Britannia 2,050 dinars. I am paying Sturgia 290 dinars, and I am paying Valencia 1,570 dinars. All total, it's costing me a fair bit to stay at peace. Now, I really don't stand much hope when it comes to beating any one of these nations. They're all a lot stronger than me. They all have more clans than me, and they're able to control a lot more land. Now, I didn't do the right things to prepare for this kingdom, for starting a kingdom. I done one of the things that I would recommend, which is have a lot of money. I still have 1.8 million, but as you can see, I'm paying out 9,000 per day. That's not going to last very long. In fact, the only thing that's kept me afloat in this playthrough is smithing. I spent a long time smithing. I'm able to smith a lot. I get a lot of money for smithing, but that's kind of all I can do within this playthrough. I have to constantly smith in order to get more money, in order to keep peace. I need to make sure that I have a lot of influence stored up, so that way I'm able to request peace with the next nation that wants to go to war with me. Now, a thing to think about is that really nations that are close by to you are going to want to go to war with you if they feel like you're an easy victory, and therefore that's why I've had all of the surrounding nations go to war with me, and I am now at peace with them. So if we look at my playthrough and my awesome kingdom, we'll be able to find my character. There he is. There is Monk. Now, he's 31 years old, and he has almost no friends, and a few of the friends that he did have are now dead as well, which doesn't help. I do have 1 or 2 friends, but really not that many. In fact, my list of enemies is staggering. Now, what I decided to do was behead a few people, which didn't go down too well with a few notable lords. Now, if we was to click on anyone, now obviously Ragnar's not going to like me anyway. But if we click on him, we can see that he has a few friends, um, as well as a few enemies. Now, I'm not going to be able to recruit different clans because almost everyone in a game absolutely hates me. Now, we've gone over recruiting clans a few times in a few different videos, but in short, what you need is people to like you. In other words, have a decent relationship. You also need the money because, depending on a few different variables, recruiting clans can be extremely expensive. And you also need a reason for people to want to go to you. As the smallest kingdom in the land, why would someone want to join me? It's about relative power. So if I was to go over to Valencia, why would anyone there want to join me? They're an established kingdom. If they join me, I haven't got much to offer them. So that's something to consider. That's why I am a clan or a kingdom of one clan, because it's been really, really difficult to actually get anyone to want to join me. I've got negative relationships with everyone, and every single kingdom is still relatively bigger than me. In fact, the smallest kingdom is Sturgia, and they still have a variety of different towns. And so me trying to get one of their lords to join me, although they'd be the only ones even close to wanting to join me, they're still not going to want to because I'm too small. Too many people hate me, and I probably couldn't afford it because what they may cost me 600,000 if I was to have them as well. Um, it's just, financially speaking, it's not going to be viable. The only other option that I would actually have is to make a companion a lord. Now, as you saw, I do have two castles, which means technically I could make one of my companions a lord. Um, Unfortunately, in doing so, they would start off as a level 1 clan, and it's not going to be too repeatable because at the moment I don't even have enough land anyway. So that's something to consider when it comes to growth of a kingdom. We're going to switch over now to what I would say is my best example of a successful kingdom. So this is my second stab at the North Sea Empire, and as you can see, already more successful than the last. We have a number of clans that have joined. We have a number of fiefs, and yes, we are at war, but we're in a stage where we're able to successfully manage the war and manage the kingdom. Now, if we zoom out, you can see just how big we are. We have successfully conquered an awful lot. The empire almost non-existent. Britannia, again, almost non-existent. They still have clans running around, but they really aren't an issue. Sturgia as well are also gone. But as you can see, we are at war with a couple of other kingdoms. Now, a little bit of history about this kingdom and my kingdom is that I was actually a vassal of not Sturgia, of Valencia. That's right, Valencia. I was a vassal under them. In fact, I even got promoted to king. But unfortunately, I really wasn't feeling it. I wasn't getting a terrible amount of the fiefs and the castles, and it really just wasn't for me. I wasn't liking the fact that I wasn't being voted for most of the feats because other people had too much influence. There was too much power, too much relation. They had too many supporters. Um, so I went out and I broke ties with them. I took my land, and of course, immediately I would have given them peace because I wasn't in a position to fight a giant, and it was a giant kingdom at that stage. So we had peace, we had a bit more war, and now they are paying me. But it took a little bit of while in order to get there. Now, a few things that I made sure happened in this playthrough is one, I had positive relations. I had a lot of really good relations with people, and it enabled me to actually recruit some of these clans for almost nothing. I believe I recruited a clan for as little as 10,000 dinars, considering sometimes you can recruit people for 600,000 or more. I was definitely happy with doing so. In order to do that, though, I had to find the smaller kingdoms. A great way to do that is to obviously pop into your kingdoms, go over to diplomacy, and find out just who is the smallest and easiest targets. In my case, a lot of the time it was Britannia. As you can see, they only have 4 clans left, really not that many. I have a few people from Sturgia as well. Again, as you can see, Sturgia really have been losing a lot of clans, and I even managed to get a few of my old friends from Valandia as well. Obviously, I had positive relationships with them, so it was a little bit easier. Once we actually had our kingdoms at a similar size, and then I began to dwarf them, more of their clans were easier to recruit over to myself. So I've even managed to give one of my old companions his own lordship, his own castle, and he's got a successful clan running now as well. It did take a lot of man management to get this into a stage where it is. In fact, I'm at war now and I really don't care. It's not really a massive issue for me. If we have a little look see at our diplomacy once again, you can see that I'm at war here, and I'm also at war here too. One thing you can notice, however, is that I'm prioritizing one war over another. Right here, I've got this war set to defensive, meaning that the lords are only going to defend their own properties against this army. So if they don't attack, there's no issue. If they do attack, they will rally to defense and make sure that we actually keep the land that we have. At the end of the day, I can see they're really not a huge threat and a huge problem. Yes, they have some clans, but as you can see, they have 5 towns, 8 castles, which means most of this total strength is going to be within their towns and castles, not on the battlefield. So they're really not a major issue. However, these guys are a little bit different. They have more clans, they have more towns and castles. They also are similar when it comes to strength on a battlefield as well. So I prioritize these, made sure we set that to offensive, but ultimately I'm letting my clans do the work. Some of these guys have huge march sizes. Some of these guys are able to put together really good armies because they have quite a lot of influence. So I allow them to do their own thing, and they will defend and attack based on what they see fit. So I'm able to let the wars kind of run themselves. Something I've noticed, especially in the Discord, is that people are bummed out by just how often their kingdoms are at war. Unfortunately, this is medieval times. This is what this game is about. You're going to be at war an awful lot, but just because you're at war doesn't mean you need to focus on winning that war, or you need to focus on defending that war. As you get more clan members, you're able to let your kingdom manage itself and focus on what you want to do if you've built your kingdom correctly. Now, if we look once again in diplomacy, we can see that we're actually making a lot of money here as well, because um, we're actually making 260 of Britannia. They're nothing, so that doesn't matter. We're making 480 off Sturgia again. Again, it's minimal, doesn't matter, but we're making 10,000 off Valandia. And that's also another reason why I haven't even attacked Valandia in quite a long time, because they've given me 500,000 in tribute. So, they're kind of like a workhorse for me right now. They're paying a few of my bills. So it's about trying to find that balance when it comes to kingdoms. One thing I would say, and I think I may have already mentioned within this video, is that starting life with a kingdom with a lot of money is going to help you massively. Seriously, smithing, trading, wars, it all helps. At this stage, tournaments aren't going to help, but focus on any one of those three things, and you're going to be able to roll in the cash within this game. Like I said, this is a bit of an unscripted video. I just kind of wanted to touch on a few points. Hopefully, I have managed to help you guys out, maybe even point you in the right direction. If I have, let me know down in the comments. If I've missed anything, not gone into enough detail, let me know. I'll be happy to chat with you guys about a few different things and hopefully help you have a successful playthrough. This playthrough, as I said, is 2200 days, so it took me a long time to build up this kingdom. I've had a lot of fun doing so. I was focusing on the main storyline. Unfortunately, my storyline got a little bit bugged. The main mission got a little bit bugged, which is what it is. But I've had a lot of fun with this playthrough. I was quite surprised with just how easily I've managed to conquer a ton of different towns and castles. And if we have a look within our kingdoms, Boosh and clans, we can see that I actually own 11 different fiefs, far more than any other clan within my kingdom. One last tip I should give you really is to keep your kingdoms happy. So keep your clans within your kingdom happy. Um, it takes not too much to have a happy clan. However, if you have an unhappy clan, then they are going to be greedy. They are going to leave you, and your kingdom will not be very balanced. Most clans are quite happy if they have money and they have a fief. If they have one fief and say 50 grand in the bank, they're going to be happy. If you bring up one of your clans, have a look to see. Let's see if we can find head of a clan. We'll go here and we'll go to these guys right here. As you can see, their wealth is rich. So if we was to click on one of our clans and the wealth would be very poor or poor, I would recommend going up to them and giving them money. Literally just give them 50 grand. That will change their categorization. And of course, the better off the clan, the happier they are. If a clan is happy, they're not greedy, meaning they're more willing to want you to have the fiefs that you're taking over because they're quite happy with the rule, with your rule. So that's another huge tip in regards to having a kingdom and making sure that the fiefs are actually distributed in a way that you would like. Personally, I prefer towns. I don't really like having too many castles. So anytime a castle vote goes to me, I typically give it away to, someone else. Sometimes it actually costs me quite a bit of influence to give it away. But I prefer my clans to be happier and more chilled out, so that way I can get the towns that I actually want. But guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. Like I said, I just wanted to go over a few different things. We do have that Discord, so if you want to have a chat about this game, let me know. Happy to have a chat and to talk about anything you're stuck on. Plus, we have quite a few other players of Bannerlords within the Discord as well. So if it's not me you're talking to, it's one of them. So everyone should be happy and catered for. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Hopefully it's helped you. If it has, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, happy gaming.